reporting is for the steps that are involved in the transition man sending out and scrubbing the data for the hello letter before the first call. Tom, several things that you're going to need before you go ahead and watch this video. In Chatter, as you know, we've created a group called Transition Man, and in there is your user ID, and then it's also a report link that's in here. So you'll need those two, and then also I sent to you over your security token. Actually, it didn't come from me, it came from salessupport.com. So if you can gather all of that information before proceeding, you'll need it. So let's go ahead. There's a lot of steps. You'll have to write all of these steps down, and after you do it a few times, then it'll be pretty seamless. First thing you want to do is you want to come into reports up at the top. And then you can come up here and find the report transition. You probably want to go ahead and open the report and maybe save it into my personal custom reports. Oh, I didn't spell it right. Let's try that again. Transition. There we go. Here we go. I'm going to pull the one that's in unfiled public reports because that's the one you'll be using since you can't access my personal custom reports. All right, now what this is doing is it's pulling a report for the screening dates from a certain day moving forward. So I would assume that if you're taking over, let's say, Christine Aaron's territory off of a certain date, what you'll want to do is change this date where it says from, click inside of there, and I would just go ahead and click on the today's date, and then click out of the box. And this is going to pull up all of the screenings from the day that you take over moving forward. Next, what you want to do is you want to edit your filter based off of who you're pulling and taking over the account for. The report was originally built with the owner's full name of Carolyn Stewart. So in this example, I'm just going to come in, I'm going to click on the word edit. And then I'm going to change by hovering over the owner full name is equal to, it highlights it, and now you can click on the edit button. And so I'm going to change this to Christine Aarons. If for some reason it doesn't pull up anything, that's probably because the way you're spelling their name doesn't match exactly how it's spelled in Salesforce. So if that comes up, just email me and I can help you with that. So I'm just clicking on OK, and now I'm going to click on Run Report. All right, so these are the screenings that are coming up. That one should not be coming up. It looks like it has the wrong screening date in it in comparison to the screening code, which is a good indication, actually, and you'll be able to probably find several of these this way. So I'm going to go ahead and export the details, and I'm going to export it onto whatever folder that you're going to use. In this case, I'm going to export it to my desktop. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to say File, Save As, and for some reason my computer just all of a sudden started slowing down. All right, Desktop, and then I'm going to change this to the transition. Boy, I had trouble spelling that word. How about I just do Transman? And then I'm going to convert it over to Excel. And then click on Save. By habit, and actually what you'll probably want to start doing is delete the last little piece of the report. So I highlight, right-click, and delete. And this one has some messed up information in it. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one off. But before you upload anything or upsert anything using the data loader, the first thing you want to do is you want to just kind of do a spot check. Here's the screening code. That's the correct screening date. That looks like the right van. And there's the screening number. So everything looks good. Now I added the campaign name. And the reason why I did that is because if it doesn't have anything in the campaign name, I need you to go in and create and add a campaign for this person. Well, actually, it'll be you. So after the fact, please go back in and add the campaign so that way when we do the results and the survey, everything is created. All right, next thing what I want to do is now I have to get my spreadsheet kind of in the right format. So the first thing I want to do is I want to come in right next to the owner's full name, right-click, and insert a row. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to copy. I don't know why my little paste button's coming up. It's kind of distracting. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the owner's full name and I'm going to paste it right over here into the empty column that I just created. Now I'm going to change this column H, and I'm going to call this HSC name. All right? And now what I want to do is I want to take the owner's full name and I want to get your user ID. Everything in Salesforce is off of an ID, and this will always be your user ID. So you want to come in and you want to take your user ID and you want to copy that and you want to paste it now into the owner full name. So whenever we update this information, it's going to now have you as the owner, and then it'll also reference me or whoever the HSC is that you're transferring this information from. All right, so those are a couple steps. At the very end, you also want to create a column and call this transition man. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to, in here, type in true in all caps. So now we have all of the data that is set. We verified that columns A, B, C, and D correctly match up. We're going to have to add a campaign after we update this information. We put your user ID in as the new owner, and we changed the current owner, or the existing owner, over to the HSC name. And then we also, at the very end, added a new column called Transition Man, and that's equal to true. Now what we want to do is we want to come in and we want to say File, Save As, and I'm going to save this as Transman CSV. And then the Save As type is CSV. And now click on Save. All right, so now our data is ready to be updated and imported. I'm going to go ahead and X out of there. Make sure that you have X'd out completely of your Excel spreadsheet. Now what we're going to do is we are going to get into the data loader. But before we get into the data loader, we need to get our security token. So I hide my security token here in my HR folder. It doesn't make any sense, but I know that's where it is all the time. And you should have received an email from support@salesforce.com with your security token. And what you'll want to do is highlight the security token, right-click, and then click on Copy. So now you'll go ahead. You should have the data loader on your desktop. I'm going to open the data loader, and we're going to be updating existing files that already exist. We're going to be updating that information. So I click on Update. Your username is your username that you use in Salesforce, and your password is your regular Salesforce password. So I'm going to type in my regular Salesforce password, and then now, no spaces, right-click, and then paste. And so what happened is it took my regular Salesforce password, and then at the end of it, it pasted in the security token. And now check the box of Login. Okay, it says Login completely successful, and now I want to click on Next. So select the object that we're going to be updating, and the object that we're updating is screenings. So I'm going to scroll down to the word screening, and then I'm going to click on Browse. And I'm going to look for the the file, Transman CSV. Make sure you highlight the CSV file. And now I'm going to click on Next. And then it says your operation is containing 1 record. So now I'm going to choose an existing map. I've already created a map file for you, and I'll send that over to you. You'll need that every time that you update. And you'll just locate that file, Transition Man Mapping, and everything comes in and maps for you. Next, you'll want to click on the Next button, and now you'll want to click on Finish. So it's saying, okay, are you sure you want to do this? Do you want to proceed? Because once you do it, it can't be undone. And the answer to that is yes. So now it says there were 1 successful update and 0 errors. So I'm going to click on OK. So now if you take a look, immediately the email comes up that was sent. So this is in my inbox. Good day, Christine Ahrens. I couldn't just get the first name. I had to get the first and the last name. So it gives your name, It gives the screening day, who you're taking over for, and then it gives your information, actually the user information below, and you will be the user that's sending this. So the email is automatically sent out. If we come back into Salesforce and we take a look at that screening, so COL, there it is. You'll take a look now, and you are now the new owner. And it will reference the HSC name down here. That's what's pulling in the field. Again, this one doesn't have a campaign, so you'll want to go ahead and create that new campaign. I think that should be all. The big thing is just testing it a few times. I'll go ahead and I'm going to delete this one right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and come in and create a new screening so you can do these steps and practice on it. The best thing to do is to create a cheat sheet. I was going to do that for you, but I always learn better whenever I pretty much do it right out, like all the notes, because you're getting in the steps. So I'm going to come in and create this, and if you can review it a few times and let me know if you have any questions or if you want me to add a few more screenings so you can test it, and then we can build from here. Until next time, may the force be with you. Salesforce, that is.